It says the Christ on YouTube because it cut off at Christian.
Oh, okay. That's all right. That's appropriate.
That's great. Oh, that's funny. It says the Christ. Oh, I love when it does that. Okay. All right. So, Jeff, thanks for coming on my channel today. We have you on 3 times in a row. So
My pleasure. It's always a good time.
Can you hear mine? Is it my phone? What's going on? Why do we hear all these echoes?
Because I just turned it on and I hadn't muted it yet.
I thought that was me.
I want to watch the chat just in case.
Just in case we have any disruptors. You've
Oh,
been
yeah.
watching those chats, Jeff. I've noticed.
Or somebody says something profound. That can happen every now and then.
Every once in a while. All right. So we are going to talk about, we're going to do some readings today. We're also going to, today, there's a new moon. So it's 12/12.
Heidi, what does a new moon mean exactly?
Oh gosh, I knew you were going to ask me that.
Sorry.
A new moon is just it's a new cycle. So
okay.
There's a full moon, and a full moon is typically let go, like it's endings and things that are gone.
Okay.
And the new moon is new beginnings. It's new breakthroughs. New, it can be cleaning house, like getting rid of stuff and starting something new. And yeah, that's what it is.
So it's a good time also to charge. Is it a good time to charge like your tarot cards and your divining rods and your crystals and all that?
I would say so, for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely, yeah. So you know what we should do too? I think we should do like new moon readings. We'll both pull cards and then we'll try to interpret them.
Okay.
For each sign. So I think that's a good idea.
Oh, really? For each sign, you're going to get fancy.
Yeah. Why not? We'll go down the line. We'll just
sounds good.
You're right. We'll do, you can do. So I've noticed, like when I listen to tarot readings a lot, I listen to my rising sign, I listen to my moon sign, and my sun sign, because all 3 of them matter,
Okay.
So just to give a quick rundown on your astrology signs. So, your ascendant's the most important part of your chart. It's going to be your first house. It's going to be what changes every 2 hours. By far, in my opinion, the most important part of your chart. Now, let me just get rid of this thing.
Somebody asked about crystal balls. I actually do that. They're just, I broke my last one and they're kind of expensive, but I should get another crystal ball. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get one tonight.
So we should
trying. They're awesome. And
we can also answer some questions tonight. We'll ask the rods questions. We'll do some readings.
I actually have 9 sets of rods here that I'm getting ready to mail out tomorrow. So we'll go through the rods and get them tuned up before we send them out.
Yeah, that sounds like a is your cat around?
He's asleep on my bed, so I don't know if he's going to make an appearance or not.
I hope he does. Okay.
He's totally crashed right now.
Okay, so that's what a new moon is. We have a new moon in Virgo. Well, okay. So in Western astrology, it's in Libra. In Vedic astrology, it's in Virgo.
And that's what you said I am, right? Virgo ascendant? You're
a Virgo ascendant, yes. So this is this is a good period for you, Jeff. This is new beginnings, new manifestations, whatever is, blockages in your life. I'm sure you've noticed them in the past few days. They've been kind of creeping up, like any type of, things that were trying to get in the way of your success. You're aware of them now. And, and what you want to move forward with. That's really what
I've had some areas that have been very dormant in my life that are seemingly starting to open up again, or at least come back to life again, which is nice, which would be typical of a new moon, right?
Well, yes. And also because, you had a rough cycle. You had Rahu in your 12th house. So that was what you were dealing with. Now it's in your 11th house. So it's going to give you success, but it gives you it with a price. So you'll deal with people that are just like, you'll just have natural people that will just, just what we won't go there right now, but you just won't have all the support. You'll have to weed through some baggage,
but it's financially good for the next couple of years, you said, right?
Yeah. You want me to pull your chart up and see what's going on?
Well, I hate to make it all about me, but
well, no, why not?
If you want to, that's okay.
Okay. We'll do it. No, why not? We should.
Yeah, that's what she's talking about right now, Jen. My moon is in Virgo, right? No, not my
your
moon.
ascendant.
My ascendant.
Yeah. So, and then you have to look at your chart from the moon. You have to look at, because it's not going to be how you feel. You know, there's a lot of hold on. I know I have you.
I have been to the beach. I've been on a brand new, see, again, new moons, new energies. I hurt my knee pretty bad playing hockey. I was a goalie and it knocked me out for a while. I'm getting back now. I've been back on the beach sprinting and getting myself together. So yeah, I'm picking up a little sun.
Hey, what's your birthday again?
May 23, 1963. 1534.
Hold on, May 20. You were in my other computer, 1963. What time?
1534.
That's why I thought this was you.
Clearwater, Florida. Less than 3 miles away from the international headquarters of the Church of Scientology, Zemu has landed.
Yeah, and everybody please subscribe to Jeff's channel. And he does numerous amounts of services. He's a life coach. He does palm reading. He does, was a minister.
I even juggle, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. So
Heidi,
okay.
Can you juggle?
Yeah, actually I can.
Will you do it right now?
If I had 3 balls, tennis balls, I could.
I actually learned how to juggle with D-cell batteries when I was in the Air Force. How funny is that?
I have some batteries in here, but I don't think I can juggle those.
And one thing I found out of a D-cell battery, if you drop it 5 or 6 or 7 times, it starts getting hot. It really does.
Really?
Yeah, because I guess you break up the stuff inside there, the acids and stuff. But anyway, we digress.
Okay, so you have, I'm going to show you your chart.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
You're going to expose me before the entire YouTube world.
No, I was just going to show your transits. No, it's fine.
Amanda can juggle. That doesn't surprise me one bit that Amanda can juggle.
Okay.
I wonder if Veltman can juggle. Veltman.
Oh, look at that. I forgot. So, okay. So what do you have going on right now in your transits? Ready?
Ready.
Nice. You have Mars. Well, okay. So Mars and Venus are in your first house.
Mm-hmm.
So what this is doing, this definitely can give you some issues with women, some power struggles with some women. Obviously not me.
That would never happen in my life. Never.
Yeah. Okay. Because, and it's funny, you know why we do get along so well? Because my Venus is in Virgo. So that's right now, like if you see this, like my Venus is in Virgo in Hasta, the same as yours. And that's your ascendant. That's kind of funny.
Interesting. Right. Okay.
So you have Mars and Venus in your first house. So this can make you get a little feisty, a little stressed out here and there. You know, it's just
not
temporary.
Me. It's not me.
It's only just for this month. But this month you probably felt a little more heating up, you know. That's good though. So
yeah, I felt some pressure this last month. And it's funny because I was talking with Jay Campbell, I'm gonna be in his show tomorrow. And he hasn't been able to sleep because he's feeling pressure. I bet you he's got a chart similar to mine.
And I have a feeling he's a Scorpio like me.
And I'm having a chart. I'm having the opposite problem. I sleep too much when I'm feeling pressure. So I'm having a hard time sticking to my 5 hours. So you're very right on target, Heidi, as usual.
Well, you know, that's funny because you normally don't sleep well anyway. So right now you weren't sleeping well for the past year and a half though.
Well, that's on purpose. I sleep only 5 hours a day on purpose.
So, but for the year, okay, prior to this year and a half that we just had, like when Rahu was in that 12th house, you weren't sleeping at all.
That's true.
So, but now after the eclipse, now you're sleeping better because Rahu left that 12th house.
So this polyphasic sleeping is not as easy for me as it used to be.
Yeah, probably.
Ah, interesting. That makes perfect sense, Heidi. That was a mystery. You just solved it for me. So I'm not necessarily facing pressure / attack. I've gone to another.
Healthy. You should be getting 8 hours of sleep. It's good. It's a good thing.
Okay, Mom.
It's a bad thing. It's a good thing.
Mom, you look just like Heidi. What happened?
It's a good thing. Trust me. So you need to sleep. It's a relaxation. Like it's a relaxed thing. It's a definitely a good thing. You should.
I get you. I understand.
And I have Jupiter in my 12th house now. It's kind of funny. And I'm supposed to be sleeping like a baby and I'm not. So once again, you can't always rely on the charts all the time. All right. So then you have, what else is going on right now? So the moon travels every 2 days. So you're not going to feel that so much. That's like, unless you're a Cancer or you're a Pisces, then you'll feel a lot of moon traveling because you're just emotional. And so you're going to really get hit by those. But now Saturn's getting into your 4th house. Are you thinking about moving?
Actually, it's interesting. Why would you ask that?
Well, because Saturn's getting ready to go into your 4th house and it could be a move.
That's very interesting. I'm actually thinking about getting a place up north somewhere and keeping this place here so I can do the old north-south thing.
Yeah, it's definitely.
So yeah, I was very, very seriously considering it. That's Heidi Vandenberg, ladies and gentlemen, reading my mail.
Oh, all right. And then you have.
So ask yourself again, does this stuff really work? Yeah. At least the way Heidi does it, it really works.
Yeah. And then I'll say this, Rahu. Okay. The only thing I'm going to tell you is that you're having this is nice. Like this is all I guess the new moon just passed. The new moon kind of passed, but it's still in effect. It's still in effect for like 24 hours, I'd say. So this is good. New manifestations, new positive things. K2 just went into your 5th house, which is.
I've had a couple of good new positive manifestations. So you're right on with that too.
4, 5. K2's in your 5th in this kind of stuff, broadcasting, using your creativity. So you'll just be a natural at that. Mm-hmm. But when you have K2 and Rahu, these little nodes, these nodes of the moon, let's just say you get success, but you get it with a price. Like it's not going to be, fun. Like you're just going to have to deal with a lot of people and a lot of Rahu and K2 come with a lot of discouragement from others. So when somebody's jealous, and I'm noticing this a lot in the air, like from everybody, there's a lot of haters out. Like even people that I'm noticing just from other people has nothing to do with me, you, just in the realms and from other spiritual people. There's a lot of things going on, like with tension, enemies, and just jealousy and just weird shit, So yes.
Well, good thing I'm a conspiracy theorist, blasphemer, apostate, borderline sociopath that doesn't give a damn, huh?
I know, right? Me either. I don't really care. But so I had
you don't care, but you do for some weird reason.
I had a reading from this guy, Magic Mike, right? And he's on my channel, did a show, and I had a reading with him about something. And he said, Heidi, you're about to get, because I have Jupiter going into my 12th house. Well, it could go into Scorpio if I'm a Sagittarius ascendant, or it goes into, I'm just going to stop sharing so we don't have to see your stuff. And then, or it goes into Libra, which is my 12th house as a Scorpio ascendant, because it changes. And, regardless, Jupiter's in my 12th house. So what's the 12th house? Self-sacrifice, hospitals, jails, mysteries, hidden talents, imprisonment, expenses, losses. It sounds a lot of fun, right? Because Jupiter sounds like a blast. But you just had Rahu there. So for the past year and a half, you had a big smash down with Rahu. So I'm sure wasn't easy. There was a lot of, Jupiter's kind of like Rahu in a way. It brings you, how do I say it?
How does that stuff manifest practically in your life, Heidi?
How I look at it, okay, so we're going to talk about what you were just talking about on your show, which I was listening to.
Okay.
So I'm not a big woo-woo person whatsoever, but I'm going to tell you what I do believe. And I believe in The Secret, that show. And that's probably the only set of nonsense that I believe. I've been trained by Brian Tracy. I have memorized scripts. I'm a salesperson. I sell homes. And clearly I'm not on the sales role when I do this. This is straight up Heidi. So, but on the floor, when I sell homes, I'm in sales mode. And, I use an emotional selling point. And I know how to judge people with their ascendants, because I know if somebody walks in and they're this way, I now have a whole nother tool. Okay. But
will people tell you what time they're born in a sales situation?
Well, if I like them a lot, I have clients now, they might
have good rapport.
Yeah. So, and that's okay. So that's number one, is building rapport. If you want to sell, you can sell anything to anybody. If you build rapport and they trust you, it's all about trust.
And everything in your life is selling something one way or another.
So the reason I get so upset with one negative comment on a YouTube is because my reputation to me is everything. When it comes to sales, when it comes to readings, when it comes to anything, I want you to be able to Google my name. You look at, if you go on my LinkedIn, which I have 6,000 connections on LinkedIn, way more than my subscribers on YouTube. And if you go and read how many referrals I have, and it has nothing to do with YouTube. So, but I want those people. I never like, that's because I'm like as loyal as they get. There's no, like, I'm not a snaky salesperson. If I sell you something, I'm going to follow through. I'm going to follow up. You're going to love it. You're going to have great experience. And you're going to say, even if my house burnt down to the ground, Heidi was still giving me constant feedback and letting me know what's happening. I have a whole book of like, sorry guys, this is like a little brag about Heidi, but this is the truth. And this is because I've never let that, if you're loyal and you're honest about everything, you will go somewhere with it. You know, just telling the truth and being sincere. So I don't care what anybody says. The secret, though, in my opinion, does manifest for a multitude of reasons. And I tried it. I went through a rough time. The two of these things, this just popped out of the deck too.
Oh, wow.
So, so when I wanted to, like, when you sell new construction, you work for a builder, you constantly, like, there's always change. There's new managers, there's new leadership. It's a lot of like, you know, and you're corporate. So you have to do whatever the corporate people want you to do. And I just got to get the screen off. So we had to learn, I'll never forget, we had to learn this script. So they said to us, we need to learn, what did it say? We needed to learn these scripts or we were going to be fired. I was the only person, me and this other chick, that got 100%. I memorized the scripts. I had carpal tunnel. I wrote them down. I still remember them. Hi, it's a great day. Isn't it? My name's Heidi and you are. Did I ever say that? No, absolutely not. But the point is, if you have a system, you have a process, just like Brian, you said Brian Tracy, I've taken a lot of his seminars. I was trained by all these people. Tony, they all have the same spiel. It's just molded to a different thing.
Yep.
And it's totally 100% true, everything you said, because I believe you can take control of your own self.
Could you say that again, Heidi?
What?
That everything I say is 100% true.
What you said was 100% true, because whether you want to get controlled by the CIA and TV or you want to get controlled by your own stuff. You said 21 days, it's 30 days. If you repeat something for 30 days and you read something for 30 days, you will increase your knowledge on that subject 100%. Like these are like just rules.
Yep.
And when you learn these things and whatever you want to do, if you just like going to the gym, I had never worked out. I hated it. Like I was like, just, you know, then you hit a certain age and you notice like, this isn't so tight as it could be. Right. And my friend Liz was like, go to the gym with me. I was like, I'm not going to the gym because I was athletic and I didn't need to go to the gym, but I went to the gym and I have never not worked. Like I have never since 2000 and what is it? 13 or 12 or 11. I don't even know the year, but I have never not worked out 5 days a week because once you get into the habit of it, it's just done. It's simple. Right. Like it becomes a daily, you just have to get yourself into these habits. So when you do this, even with, you know, manifesting like positivity, you can do it. It can be done. I do believe you can change certain things in your life.
Absolutely.
And I heard Wayne say on about that money thing that he manifested. And yep. I gave that a test. When I watched The Secret for the first time, I was like, all right, I'll give this a test. All right, I want to check in my mailbox. No joke. I'm not joking. The next day, I had a check in my mailbox. It was not from anything. It was like so stupid. It was $10, like from a AT&T thing that they overcharged me. But the point is, it happened. Whether that was a fluke but it did. So you really can manifest things. So I think that instead of letting all the negativity manifest you and like, because we can go down the negativity routes watching all this stuff sometimes, you know.
Absolutely.
I mean, I do. I mean, it's once you get trapped and you go down that, I mean, you have to be aware of it, but you also have to like not let it control your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the big thing, especially with like, okay, so you being a Virgo, being a perfectionist about certain things, and you're like dissect things and you're going to always like want to know the facts and, you know, you're a perfectionist. You're not going to ramble something out unless you have the facts. That's
funny because that's so true.
Yeah. Like for you to say something, that's because you've probably researched it beyond belief and it's like just disgusting. People don't even know that about you, but it's goddamn true. It's like,
and it's like you, the last thing I want is to say something and have somebody find a fact that shows that I'm wrong. I don't want to be wrong. And plus I don't want to steer people wrong.
Yeah. That's like our biggest problem. It's Virgos.
And let me tell you, Heidi, one of the problems with being right all the time is that when you, on those rare occasions where you're not right, man, people jump all over you. And I know you understand that because you're probably in the same boat.
Yeah, that's why I only say things that I know are right. That's like, even in my astrology reading, it's funny because you said that about the readings, like people pay for readings. I cut readings off. Like there have been people that have contacted me and I'm like, look, I'll refer them to somebody else or say, because I know there's only certain things I'm supposed to tell somebody. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole to just I'm not that person. I have a hard time charging people for readings anyway. So for me, it's like,
does Indian astrology have rising signs? Iowa X asks.
Yes, it definitely does. It's called a lagna in Vedic astrology, but you have a lagna, an ascendant, rising sign, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
Do we have any more questions?
I'm just watching them go by, and the ones that are actually good questions, well, not that they're not all good questions, but good pertinent questions I'll throw out.
How many thoughts does Heidi have in 1 second? Depends on that time of day.
And a woman will typically have much more than a man.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm going to say this, Kay, I'm just going to give her a little shout out. Kay Pierre, who's one of my moderators, one of my friends.
And also mine.
Yeah, and one of yours too. Sorry. Yeah, and she is. Let me just say, she's a great tarot reader. Is she
really?
Oh my God, you have no idea what she.
Excellent.
Yeah. So just wanted to give her a little. She amazing things she said and what happened. So.
How was the palm reading I did for you?
That was an amazing palm reading too. I've had a lot of readings lately. Apparently,
awesome.
Yeah, you were dead on, 100%.
I like it. Yeah. Is Rahu real, Heidi?
No, he's an illusion.
Can you explain that, please?
I love those Virgo questions. Okay. So Rahu and Ketu are shadows of the moon.
Oh, that's right. I've heard you say
in India, and happy Diwali to everybody in India. So, that's a special time of the year for them. Anyway, so what happens with Rahu and Ketu? Rahu and Ketu was, it was one being, okay? Or one entity, whatever you want to call it. And what happened was got cut off, chopped in half. So they're still the same. Like they're still connected in a way. But the problem is Rahu doesn't have a body, he just has a head. Ketu doesn't have a head. He just has a body. So he can't see.
I remember reading that in the book
so he can't see. He's like, whatever. So he doesn't care about what's going on here because the reality is he's living moksha. He just wants to get out of here. Rahu is the more materialistic, because he only has a head, doesn't have a body, and he just wants to take. So Rahu is what you're here to learn. What you're supposed to do is learn how to balance Rahu and Ketu out. And that's why they sit 7 houses apart. They're shadows. They're not planets. And I've said that before, but just to clarify it, but they are literally like, you want to know what somebody's here to experience? You look at Rahu and Ketu. You're going to see.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's it. And Rahu for you is in your 11th, but yours is so close to being in your 10th. So career and like 4th house, happiness, home life.
So what would that mean?
So with Ketu in the 4th, Rahu in the 10th, that's tough though. So it's 29 degrees. And what's interesting about Ketu and Rahu is when the lower the degrees they are, the older the soul is in a way.
Okay.
So for instance, I have 2 degrees of Rahu and Ketu. What that means is Rahu and Ketu are heavy in my chart because they travel backwards. You have Ketu and Rahu at 29 degrees. So they're not really affecting you as bad as they would normally.
Okay.
So when you have Ketu in the 4th, that's going to be, some discontent with feeling happy a lot, just feeling like unsettled a little bit here and there, or feeling like you might want to move a lot because you just get bored easily. You might want to, jump ship to this place.
I've moved so many times you won't even believe.
Yeah. So it's a lot of like unsettlement in your happiness, and it can be some deep rooted issues growing up or even from a past life that you don't even know about. And
Yep.
then Rahu in the 10th is what you're going to be obsessed with. What's that? Your career, public. And it brings you fame. It brings you it brings it with a price because you haven't experienced this yet. So you're going to be good at it. You're going to have success, but then you're going to have ups and downs wherever Rahu is. And what's going to happen is when Rahu throws you for a loop, because he will, lots of them, lots of loops, you're going to want to take your flag and stick it back in your 4th house and go home. Like, not even be around people. You see, it's going to make you just be like, screw it, I'm going to go back to my homeland, which is why you moved probably back to Clearwater. You know, something happened, you're like, where your roots are, 4th house, because K2, he's happy there. K2 feels content. Wherever K2 sits, it's content. So for me, mine's relationships in 1st house. So the minute I get thrown off guard with my 7th house, like relationships, it's like flags up, Heidi's alone and she's happy and she is disconnected from everybody else. So
Interesting.
And they always sit 7 houses apart.
Interesting.
And this is the dance of Rahu and K2. It's fun.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So
there's so much to it.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. There's definitely a lot to it. It's especially what you have to learn. And you know, it's really hard having the nodes in your 1st and 7th house because you really do feel lost a lot. You know, because you don't, especially K2 in the 1st. And I had a reading today with somebody.
Can that make you like a real free spirit, though? Can you take it, that lost feeling, and turn it into happy-go-lucky, carefree?
K2's pessimistic and a Debbie Downer.
Okay. Well, why am I never pessimistic and down?
Because you don't have that. You're a Virgo, and you know what? You're a Virgo ascendant, and you have to look where Virgo sits. What rules Virgo is, well, Hasta is ruled by the moon. So, you know, that's an emotional, you can be a more emotional Virgo than the other Virgos. But then you have to look what Mercury rules Virgo. That sits in your 9th house. Optimistic, higher knowledge, you're always going to learn. That's what you value. That's what you're here to do. That's why you were a reverend or whatever, that kind of thing. Okay, so that's you. Like, you were here to do that. That's your life purpose. Your 1st house, you have to take what rules that, and you have the moon sitting with Sun and Mercury all in your 9th house.
That's a lot of power.
Yeah, it for sure. Long distance journeys, religion, fortune, fatherly figures, luck, foreign travel, higher wisdom, learnings, writing books, PhDs. So it's like the guru. That just
I've been on 5 continents.
And you know, that shows that you're going to be the guru because it's your people are going to look up to you. You know, and you have that higher knowledge. So that's
eerily accurate. It really is.
Yeah, and that's what your focus was here. I mean,
and that's what it is. That's what I'm doing now. And I was saying, who was I saying this to the other day? To Jenny, I think, that I've never ever felt better in my entire life. I am just boom, right? I'm right exactly where I want to be. I've never ever been better in my whole life. It's just awesome. I wake up every morning thinking, man, life is good.
Yeah, and that's also because if you take your chart and say from the moon where things sit, like you have the moon in the 1st house, you have the moon with the sun. It's like this. You're gonna have that able to be optimistic. It's just the way, like it's just how you are, and it's.
So is this set up by the divine? Do they set certain souls to be certain ways to
watch
fit
out,
in?
Virgo? I don't know that answer. I don't know. Like.
So you're saying that Scorpios don't like to ask all the detailed questions that Virgos ask?
Oh, hell no. We don't care. We want the facts. We want the truth. We want the proof, but we don't want to know.
Bottom line me, huh?
Yeah. We don't need to explain it. It's just too complicated. And quite honestly, that's how I feel about astrology. It's like somebody can like it, believe it or not. I don't care if they believe it and think I'm a lunatic. Like, it just is what it is. It works. And if you had a reading from me, I mean, I don't know these people that I get readings from. They give me a birth time, literally they give me their birthday, their time, the city. I don't Google anybody's names. I wish I could have time to do some research, but I don't. I pull the charts, put the names in, sometimes I don't even know if they're a male or a female. So
thank you, Renaissance woman.
What did she say?
Something very nice.
Oh, I wish. So
and I was talking to somebody a little bit earlier, and they said that they didn't believe any of this stuff. They didn't believe astrology. They didn't believe rods. They didn't believe cards. I'm like, bro, they work.
Yeah,
they work.
It really does. And the rods work like, and I do believe it's any sort of manifestation that, you want to try. The reason why I think you are more of a K2 person more than Rahu is because that's where you're more comfortable is K2. So K2 in the fourth, you're going to experience Rahu. You're going to have that Rahu personality that's going to kind of go out and experience things. But when it comes to career, you're going to dabble. That's why you're doing this and now you're doing this. Rahu's the taboo breaker. He does things. You see, he doesn't care. He doesn't have a body. He just has a head. He's like, where am I going? And the thing is, wherever he sits, you haven't mastered this. So you're here to do it. And this is what your purpose is. So wherever Rahu's sitting, you're going to be complete. Like you're coming in with, a fresh set of eyes. You've never done this. You have no experience. You suck at it. Let's just pretend.
You mean from a cosmic standpoint?
Yes, from a cosmic standpoint. So you never were focused on your career. What you focused on probably prior was your home, your family, your happiness. You were master at it. And then, but you weren't that master because now you're dealing with it too, still, because it's still this bounce. But you were more focused on your happiness and yourself. So what happens now, Rahu is you have to learn how to do Rahu. Rahu's
interesting.
So you could have even, like your relationships in the past, you might have just worked too much. You could have, you might have focused too much on that.
Are we talking past lives or past now?
Well, past now, like this.
Okay.
Life.
Yeah, I was working in timeshare, bell to bell. You know what that? Well, I'm there from 9 till 9. I was the closer.
Yeah.
So I was working. I mean, what good is it when you're raking in $300 a year, but you don't have any time to spend it?
Yeah, I know. Right. It's true.
You know that. Yeah,
it's true. And it's, and that's even the point. And that's Rahu. So Rahu's going to do all these things. He's going to go, he's all about money.
Hillary Davis says that Heidi is authentic, loyal, and determined to help others be true.
Oh, thank you.
MAGA means make America great again.
Yeah. And your Mars is in MAGA. My Mercury's in MAGA. Yeah. So, that's just the way it goes. You have to, Rahu and K2 are a balance. You have to learn how to master them both.
I see not everybody loves Jeff.
I got to watch these comments.
That's all right. I'm a big boy. I think it's funny. Okay. This is just, to me, it's very fascinating because it works and because it's so, I'm all into the woo, obviously. I'm very cosmic minded, and just to find something that works so elegantly. And I mean, that's why, I was Christian. I hated, tarot cards. Ooh, they're, you touch them, your hands are going to burn, but they work.
Yeah.
Divining rods, they work. Pendulums work.
Yeah.
Vedic astrology. Yeah, right. Vedic astrology. Give me a break. And you read my chart, I'm like, damn.
Right.
And I don't think we had ever even said 2 words to each other before you did that chart.
No. And let me talk about this. Virgos are like the worst people to do astrology readings for. And Tauruses in the nakshatra of Kritika. Those are the people that are like, okay, yeah, I'll give God, see if it's right. And then if it's like, if you screw up one thing, they will never believe that. I mean, that's just the way you are.
And if you hadn't got it perfect, I'd have been like, yeah, not so much. But I'm reading that. I'm like, how could she possibly know this?
Yeah, it's crazy. And let me say this, for me to believe it, my Venus is in Virgo. So I do have a planet in Virgo. Okay, so when I will say that I never believed astrology because I would be like, I'm a Virgo. Yeah, not really at all. Because I'm not. I mean, I am to a certain degree, but I'm a Virgo when it comes to relationships. But other than that, or like romance, I'm not at all. And when I would read astrology, I would be like, yeah, maybe a little bit. But then when I found this and I heard I was a Scorpio, I was like, oh my God, that's freaking me. Because nobody really knows, like, I tell everybody here probably 1% to 2% of me. Like, talk about non-trusting issues and lots of other, things that you deal with when you're a Scorpio ascendant. Yeah, there's a lot of like emotional baggage that comes with that.
So how can a person as skeptical as you be so gung-ho into this now, into a totally, you say, oh, I'm not very woo-woo, but what you do is a completely woo-woo thing. I mean,
It is not
panel
woo-woo.
27 is, it's astrology, Heidi. It's woo-woo. Deal with it.
Okay, so astrology is not woo-woo. That's the point.
But
Astrology.
it is. But see, in your mind, you're able to see that it is very, it's linear and it's very laid out, but it is still a spiritual discipline. It's not, I mean, stop 100 people on the street, ask them, is astrology woo-woo? What are you going to get?
Because they have no fucking clue what any of it is. They think they're born in June, they're a fucking Gemini, and that's
Right.
complete bullshit. They don't know. You know, that's
I just find it interesting that it's so powerful that it even convinced you.
Yeah. No, and that seriously, to convince me to believe. So I don't believe anything. I don't believe anybody or anything. I don't trust anyone or anything. Like, keep this in mind. I have really this is coming out of the closet here. My trust level is pathetic. It's negative. So like I go on a negative Richter scale when it comes to trusting somebody.
Jen Fisher was also blown away by her reading from Heidi.
And when everything is pinpointed about me that like I don't even want people to know, you know.
Yes.
Scorpios will tell people, like in readings, people hear about some of my interesting stories because I use it to help them. But I'm not going to go announce it on here. You know, that's just never going to happen unless I'm using it to help somebody. And I don't know. I just know that like when I heard I was a Scorpio rising, and then I read about Anurata, then I read about Jesta, and I got into these nakshatras. But then I read that I was a Pisces moon in Revati. I was like, that makes sense, you know? It totally made sense. There's way more to this puzzle than just, oh, you're a Virgo. And then I never really felt Virgo at work. If you ask anybody that knows me at work, I'm a Leo at work. Leo is, I'm on the floor, I'm selling. Leo is sales, using your creativity. It's people that, and they worry about what everybody thinks. It's all about status. You're working your way up the ladder. And like, that's me. It's not Virgo. You know what Virgo is? When I was a loan officer, that lasted 2 years, didn't work. It's all about numbers and being a perfectionist, and I'm not when it comes to work. You know, I'm just more like out there. That's why I like doing this. But you know, it's just so crazy how it pins you down to the point where you're like, oh shit, I didn't really think that like I was hoping that wasn't even real, and it's definitely true. You know, it's pretty crazy.
It's amazing when you have such a profound change in your life, and sometimes you have to, you know, they say the best laid plans of mice and men. Sometimes it just doesn't. Somebody's asked you a bunch of times, I don't know if you can answer this or not, why are spiders sacred?
I don't know, because I don't like spiders. I'm starting to try to like them, but I don't like them.
Yeah. I have no idea why spiders are sacred.
Well, I think I don't know. Yeah. Do the charts really work? It's like how mine done. What do the charts really work? Is like mine done. How do I go? I don't know what to say.
Do charts really work? They would like theirs done. How do they go about getting theirs done?
Well, yeah, obviously it does. If I just said it 100 times, if they work. Okay. If you have your time, you need to know. Let's just do a quick recap. What you need in this to get a reading, to get a real reading. I don't even read charts. I will not read anybody's charts. Like I will not let somebody pay for a reading with me if they do not know their time. So, right. Because that's literally that. Maybe that's where my little Virgo comes in, because that's how I need that time. Like, because your ascendant is, if that changes, if that's the most important part. So you need your month.
Can I tell a little story about that, Heidi?
Yeah.
When Heidi said, I'm going to do your chart, and she said, when were you born? And I gave her the time. She's like, no. Did that come off your birth certificate? Like my mom told me that. I literally got on the phone, called my mom, and she told me in time. Heidi says, look at your birth certificate. So I went and looked at my birth certificate, and my mom, who was there when I was born, was off. So look at your birth certificate, because it would have changed my whole chart if you'd have gone with that wrong time, right? Because it was like 4 hours off.
It was. And same with my mom. My mom said that I was born around noon, and it was not noon. It was 1:38. That changed me from a Libra ascendant, which I knew I was not a Libra ascendant, to, oh, what just happened? Turned me from a Libra ascendant to a Scorpio. Like that's an hour. That's a big difference. An hour and 38 minutes is a huge difference. Are you still here, Jeff?
I'm here.
Oh God, I thought I just ended the whole meeting. Sorry.
No, you did not.
So yeah, my mom, and then my mom sends me this shafty birth certificate with my footprint on it, and the time was written in a pen. Okay, well I didn't believe her. I thought she wrote it in. She goes, well, what time's better? And I was like, I don't know, Mom, just tell me what it says. She's like, oh, I'll send it to you. Okay. She sends it to me and it looked like her writing. So I got the hospital records. So just so anybody knows, if you don't have your time, what you need to do is you need to go to the county records and you need to say to them, you can't just request your birth certificate because they're going to send it to you without a time. You literally, the lady told me this, you have to put a note on it and say, I'm requesting this birth certificate for the time to get the time for astrology. Like you have to write that. And I was like, are you joking? I thought she was being a smartass, but she wasn't. And they send it to you. So
interesting. Heidi, do you feel like you're possibly at like a crossroads right now? Some decisions one way or the other kind of in your life potentially?
Oh yeah, lots of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Who asked that?
Huh?
Who asked that?
I asked that.
Okay. Why? Did you pull some cards?
I did. I pulled a card for you and came up the lovers.
Oh, okay. No. But what else?
What's the lovers about? It's about, like I said, being at a crossroads, making some decisions, making some changes, maybe starting to follow what's really from the bottom of your heart, starting to follow your passion rather than just something that pays the bills.
Yeah. Can you put one more on that to clarify that? One more.
I'm not Jenny Moonstone here.
Oh, come on.
And it's just you're starting to follow your heart rather than your head. You're really starting, or at least you're considering making some decisions and changes in your life. They're going to be more heart-based than head-based. Like I'm going to go for it. I'm going to embrace my basic purpose. I'm going to really jump in and I'm going to, damn the torpedoes. I'm going to go for it and do what's in your heart.
Wheel of Fortune reversed. So I'm probably going to make some bad decisions.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. My voice is getting a little thin from all this talking. Yeah. But yeah, so that's cool.
I guess we'll see.
It's an exciting time though, don't you think, Heidi? I mean, you're actually, because obviously you're contemplating it, you're at crossroads and it's an exciting time for you. But just don't turn to the crossroads demon. Make sure you're making your own decision and following your own heart.
Yeah, no, I know I have to have my struggle is, just, I've got a lot of struggles. Let's just say I am definitely strapped right now, like with a lot of things, so yeah, I'm hoping to make some decisions one of these months,
Good. Do you want to do a reading for someone?
Yeah, who's writing Z? What is that Z's? What is that?
I don't know if they think they're bored, that they're going to go to sleep or whatever.
We're going to erase that person right out of here.
Night. You want to do a reading?
Yeah, go ahead.
One caught my eye. September 13th, 1986. Mm-hmm. 6:18 p.m.
We're not reading that one Z person. 6:18.
No, we're not.
Okay.
Bogota, Colombia. And I've been there. It's a beautiful city.
Is that why it caught your eye?
Bogota. Yeah, it caught my eye. I was working for a famous evangelist that shall go unnamed.
My birthday's 9/12.
We went to Bogota.
Interesting. All right. Yeah. So, you thought you were a Virgo. And you feel... I
thought I was a Gemini.
Not you. This is the person we're doing, right? 9/13/86, 18:18 p.m.
You mean it's not all about me, Heidi?
Okay. So, listen, here's the deal. This person definitely feels they're Virgo. Why? Because you have K2 and Mercury in your 7th house in Virgo. You have Mercury in Uttar Falguni. You have K2 in Chitra. That's like, you are so freaking calculative when it comes to your thoughts, writing, processing. Like, you're analytical. You're going to second guess your speaking, but you'll get good at it. And you can be very critical when it comes to certain things, but you can be like an encyclopedia about certain things. Now, let's just go but that's really not all you. You're a Pisces ascendant. So when you're a Pisces ascendant, that's 100% different than the Virgo, right? That's the one in La La Land. And you have Rahu in your 1st house. So Rahu in the 1st house, you have a very similar path like me. I've been talking about this, like the nodes in the 1st house. You have Rahu in the 1st house. So when you have Rahu in the 1st house, you're going to have a lot of confusion on what you're supposed to be doing. There's going to be a lot of like kind of like Rahu in the 10th with career, like I was saying about you, Jeff. This is just about you in general. So you're going to constantly, you feel like you just, Rahu and Ketu are the outcast. So you don't feel like you fit in with anybody. So you'll try to play multiple parts, and you try to like, you'll be in relationships with people you're trying to look for some specific thing about you, but really you're just looking for like a void of yourself, and you'll get into the wrong relationships. You'll be in horrible relationships, or you will stray, or kind of be like, you might say I might never get married, so this is kind of the karma is relationships. So, and you have Rahu and Revati, you probably like animals, but your ascendant is in Purva Bhattapadra, which is definitely one of the darker nakshatras. So you need to make sure you manifest your powers in the right way, because you have a lot of powers and you have a lot of psychic powers, but you got to really make sure you don't go the wrong way. But you probably won't, because you have moon in Capricorn. So this is how you acted, but you're so funny. I did somebody's reading today, like very similar to this, because you have a grounded moon. So the way you act, which is rebellious and completely like extreme, you have this moon in Capricorn, and that's like all about law and order. That's like, you can like downplay that. So your emotions are kind of like practical and grounded, even though you might act kind of a little like more rebellious. You have Jupiter in the 12th. So I would say maybe, I don't want to get too much into this right now, but definitely could have some issues with children. Or is this a male or female? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay, so we'll just say you're generous. Okay, I'll say the nice part about it. You're generous, and you're all about like giving and helping. But once again, your Jupiter is in this Purva Bhattapadra. You have to make sure you use that spiritual energy the right way. Period. It's the best advice I can give you. And I'll go to your transits and say what you're kind of going through. Okay, so kind of like Jeff, in a way, you had Ketu in the 12th on Jupiter. So if you had any children.
I think it's a female, Heidi. She's a female.
Okay, so possibly issues with having children, or possibly maybe you don't want, I'm not going to go there right now, but this can take you, there was some endings, and some could have been deaths or endings or cleaning house that you Ketu is moksha. So when Ketu goes in through that 12th house, it really cleans house. Like it just takes away, because Ketu is taking away.
Yeah.
So
and you're learning some stuff about yourself.
Yeah.
That is can be kind of shocking, and you're learning about some things, and you're learning that you need to take charge and overcome some of the things that have been holding you back, and you're realizing that sometimes you're your own worst enemy.
Yeah, for sure. Especially that Rahu in the first. Because you're so like sometimes out of control with your actions. Mm-hmm. And in Pisces, it makes you like, oh yeah.
But it seems like she's ready to overcome it, right? She's coming to a place where she has the ability to get on top of it.
Well, right now there's a lot of endings going on. More endings. They're not over, because right now this is hitting you with endings right now.
But every ending's a new beginning, Heidi. So you got the optimistic and the realist going here.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. So, but it's on your Venus. It's, so this have to do with romance, relationships, and it can just be, hold on, let me see one more thing. And I'm going to tell you another thing, right? You have the star card upright. That's good. So you have to focus on positivity and just focus on, opportunities, and you can manifest whatever you want.
Interesting.
What is going on here? Okay, it sounded so much worse than it was. Okay, so another thing, emotionally right now, for the next year and a half, you're going to kind of feel, well, your moon's in Capricorn, so this isn't going to hit you too bad, but just know that if you have any like bouts of kind of depression or like sadness, it's just, or like a dull feeling in your life, or just like a blah, it's going to go away. It's when Ketu is conjunct your moon, you feel very disconnected from your emotions, and you kind of feel like you're living in a cloud. So, and that started now, but it's way better than having K2 in the 12th, to say the least. Okay, do we have another one?
We do. This was Morgan that was at the beginning that we were going to do and got sidetracked.
Okay.
August 10th, 1987,
Mm-hmm.
14:07 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Mobile, Alabama.
That's right. I wrote that one down. All right, this is a Scorpio, just like me.
And
Okay,
this is a female.
is it?
I believe so.
All right, and also when we are done with this, make sure you write a note in the chat just saying, or this chat doesn't save. So if it was right or if it was wrong, whatever you think, I'm sure it's probably not wrong unless you gave me the wrong time. But make sure you put a comment in the notes. If you don't have to say, you know, your birthday and stuff, just say, oh, we read my chart, it was good or not, you know. Okay, so you're Scorpio ascendant, just like me, in the nakshatra of Anuradha. You have trust issues too, control issues, issues with being like, here's what's going on. You have Saturn in the first house, which is going to make you very, very disciplined, very controlling, but have a lot of self-doubts. So, because Scorpios usually don't have self-doubts, they're just kind of quiet about it. But when you have Saturn there, it's kind of like K2. It makes you feel like, oh, because you don't want to be wrong. You know, it's like, and it's somebody that's like likes to follow the law, the rules. You might be the oldest if you have, and if you have older siblings, it doesn't matter. Because you might have siblings, but you take on like a lot of responsibilities, to say the least. But you have your ascendants in Anuradha. Anuradha is all about being a good friend. They're great with leaders, great managers, because they want to be your friend. They go and they really try to help people. So they're looking out for, you know, they want to lead and they want to be in charge, but they're doing in a nice. They're the best managers to have. Love, you might see number patterns. You have Uranus in the first house, which is extremely rebellious. So even though you have Saturn that's like structure and discipline, you have this rebellious side to you that's like, don't tell you not to do something, or you're going to do. If somebody says don't do it, you're going to do it. It's just how it works.
So Uranus is rebellious.
Yeah, and unconventional. Like you're going to do things in an unconventional way. So even just like, for instance, like for me, I have Uranus in the first house. Like I'm not going to go, you know, I'm not going to be on the irregular astrologer channels. Like it's just not me. You know, I'm not going to, I just, like, me is the more conspiracy, the dark side. So you're probably very similar, like that same way to a degree. But your moon is in Aquarius inside of Bisha, which is, you know, all about healing. You're very spiritual. You know, this is all about healing people, and you know, you're very intuitive. You probably really like music, guitar, like music with which is like the hollow instruments. And this is about healing people with incurable diseases. Now, you might not know this, but like Ayurvedic doctors, astrologers, healing people doesn't mean just always, you know, healing people with, you know, stabbing them with whatever and just doing certain things. This is more like healing people in a natural way. And it could just be with talking to them, you know, and just helping them get through emotional things. Sometimes I've noticed. Very creative. Your issue will be with your karma here is with kids and maybe siblings. So, and maybe finances. And what's going to happen with you is you have Rahu in the 5th. So you're probably like you really want kids, or, you know, maybe you're really focused on using your creative self-expression. The 5th house is intelligence, emotions, romance, children, speculation, luck. It also can be like affairs, creativity, business, intellect, entertainment, advisor, knowledge, gambling, stock market. So when you have Rahu there, it can make you like, you're obsessed with these things. And then when you fail, you're going to go back to the 11th house. So Ketu's in your 11th house of money, gains, network, inheritance, older siblings, fulfillment. It's kind of your hopes, wishes, and dreams. So when you have Ketu there, there's a lot of like, you really don't feel like you have hopes, wishes, and dreams. You know, it's like a blah because you already achieved it. So that's, yeah. Who do we have hating in here right now? I would love to know.
Do we have what?
It's hating that I see people are
Oh, well, it doesn't really matter.
yeah. Now, one thing I am going to say about you, you've got, this is the main thing. You have Mars, Sun, Venus, and Mercury conjunct in your 9th house. And 3 of those planets are in Aslacia. Aslacia is the snake, the serpent, Kundalini, but it's also like, just watch a few more of my shows. I talk about Aslacia a lot. It can be the clinging star. So you cling to things, your ideas, your beliefs, whatever, because it's in the 9th house. So when you have this and you cling to things, it's really, really hard for you to like let go of things when it comes to your independence, your ego, your love, your communication, in the beliefs house, and the travel. Like, you're going to be obsessed with these things, and then but it's really good for just being a teacher, or doing something with real estate, designing things, being creative, being in the limelight, using it's good luck. But there's people might say you might use people to get to the next level, and you might be, but you're doing it for good intentions usually, maybe, hopefully. But yeah, so transits real quick. Rahu's right on here, so you're gonna get, this is getting activated, so you're getting, Rahu is on this in this 9th house with power struggle. It also can be problems with the law, so make sure you do things like right. Don't do anything karmically wrong, to say the least.
Don't break the law is what you're saying. Stay
Yeah,
within.
like, I'm sure you're not.
Don't speed. Don't run through red lights. Don't rob a bank.
Exactly. Don't rob a bank. Yeah. But this is a great time to focus on your communication. K2's in the house of improvement. All about, well, you're going through what I'm going through. So, I mean, we've had a rough 4 years. I don't know how it could get any worse. You might get married. You might get into a relationship, or you might want to travel more. Your beliefs will change. It's going to be, but trust me, it's not going to be any worse than it has been for the past 4 years. We've been put through the ringer since 2012. So,
Interesting. You ready to do one more?
Yes.
This is Michelle. She just gave a $20 shout out. So
okay.
Funny how that moves you to the front of the line.
Yeah, it does.
072865.
7/28/1965. Okay.
410 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And make sure when you put your times that you put either a.m. or military time.
Yes.
Please. So 7/28/65, 4:10 a.m. in Philly. And this is a female.
Did you pull a card for the last one?
No, I didn't. I was too busy sheriffing the.
You should pull a card for the last one too. That's some guidance.
Yeah, please like the video, ladies and gentlemen.
Make sure everybody's subscribed, please, if that's possible.
And please subscribe while you're here.
And make sure you subscribe to Jeff's channel too.
But don't leave this program to go subscribe. Do it afterwards.
Make sure you do it after, but make sure you hit that notification bell.
Absolutely. And that's a good point. When you're on these live chats, these comments don't save. So make sure you wait for it to, pop on in the regular channel, and then leave your comments there, because they stay.
What is if I had BTC, I would give you money again? I don't even know what that means.
I think that's Bitcoin.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Lee Veltman says, "Relax, Jeff. The wrench gang is strong here." I know, but I got to keep. I'm a detail person. I got to keep watch. It's just I don't know why. It's just me.
Okay, so makes sense. However, super chat donations can be enabled if you have a YouTube channel with 1,000 subscribers. Well, yeah. I mean, if somebody donates, I'm going to do the reading faster. I mean, it's common sense. So. Yeah.
It's courtesy is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say, no, I'm not going to do the reading. That means there's an urgency too. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's a good point. That probably is urgency.
Yeah. Honest to God, it really probably is, because let me tell you, when I was in a mess, I spent thousands of dollars on readings. So
literally?
Thousands. like
Wow.
probably 10,000.
Wow.
And I got no answers that I was looking for. And that's the problem. You won't. You're only going to get what you're supposed to hear. This is like karmic, you know, you're not going to, because what I needed to do was open up my eyes. So,
Interesting.
okay, this person's a Gemini ascendant. Geminis are extremely like good with communication. They're good with business. They play two parts, you know, they're the twins. So 1 minute they could be one way, the other way, the next minute, you know, you could play all sides. It's great for business. They're entrepreneurs. I love Geminis. Geminis are like, you know, you show people's true sides. You're basically reflecting this is your ascendant. So you're reflecting, you know, other people's fears that they, you know, people could say, oh, Geminis are two-faced. No, it's just what they don't want to see in themselves. That's the best way to describe a Gemini. Now, when you're Gemini, you're in the nakshatra of Ardra. So there's a few different nakshatras that are in Gemini. Ardra is definitely more of the destructive one. So it can go through a lot of hardships, and there can be a lot of sadness and a lot of, you know, you definitely have some more, I would say, there's can be some upheavals, right? But people that are really good with technology, that are really good with creativity, and, you know, just this is all about renewing, redoing, recycling, fixing. So, you know, fixing things, you will like, okay, the best way to describe this is when you have planets in this, not saying this is what you would do, because I see it's Michelle. This is probably not what you do, but, you know, you shake things up, you make a storm because you want to bring awareness and start over, you know, like so that's a lot of patterns that will happen. So somebody that's like when a hurricane comes, you know, it's cleaning house. And what happens is you have to rebuild, but then there's new stuff. So it's like destruction and then destruction, but then after the storm, it's destruction, but then it's building new. So usually it's for good intentions. I would say it is for you because you don't have a lot of planets there. And your first lord of Mercury goes into the third house, all about you using your creativity and self-expression. You should be a writer. I mean, Mercury and Venus, you're a hell of a salesperson. You could sell anything. You might sell real estate. You might sell women things. You might have wanted to be an actress at one point. You've got Sun and Moon and Cancer and Pusha. This is like.
Do you see any timeshare in their chart?
Timeshare could be, yeah. Real estate, timeshare could be timeshare.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it could be anything. It could be, and Mars is in the fourth house. That's real estate, but it's in Hasta. So I would say this could even be medical device sales. You know, it could be, this could be somebody that just heals people, nurse. But I would say more so 12, 11, 12, 11, 10, 10 foot goes into 12. Philanthropy or money could be like a financial analyst doing something with money. Rahu's in Rohini, Jupiter's in the Mrigashira. This is maybe law enforcement. You have a lot of focus on this 12th house. Self-sacrifice, hospitals, jails, mysteries, hidden talents, imprisonment, expenses, losses, bed pleasure, foreign things, spiritual liberation, confinement, imagination, hidden enemies. There are a lot of hidden enemies. There will be a lot of moksha. So when Rahu's here, you got to make sure you're not trying to escape all the time. Rahu in the 12th is somebody that can like just try to have, like, there's a lot of they live in kind of fantasy land, but yours is in Rohini. So I would say yours is more about money. But there will be a lot of expenses, maybe expenses with children, maybe expenses with gurus, and you probably, you know, just weird stuff. But definitely you could work for like a multinational company, and you could be a financial analyst. It's all over the place here. You have a lot of good things that you could be doing. So, and with Geminis, it's really hard to pinpoint them down because they're just extremely creative. Okay. So to say that what's going to happen here, and you're a really good speaker, I would say, for sure. Or maybe even the singer, speaker, singer, something like that. All right, so you've had Saturn in your 6th house. You could have had some health things happen. and definitely could have been health or just issues with your day-to-day work life, energy low, big time low, not feeling right. Just not it's not fun. It kind of hits you like it does in the first. So it could have been health. Well, now it's going into the 7th house. So if you're not married, could bring somebody into your life. If you are married, just a lot of focus on relationships or marriages or partnerships. It's also business partnerships or, things of that nature. Now you have K2 in the 8th. So this is kind of another big change. The 8th house is control, surrender, scandals. It can be sometimes illnesses, investigation, astrology, occult, major change, and it can be an inheritance. But I would say with this, it could just make you do a lot of investigation, a lot of searching, a lot of researching and stuff. So I would say that you're going to do a lot of change. There's going to be some big changes in your life. Just it's not hitting any planets. You don't have any planets in the 8th house, so I don't think it's going to be that bad. But just it's like a death and rebirth, a new you. So if you were dealing with like health things or anything, just this can make you change it and maybe go. There's something bothering you. Maybe you get surgery. Just something like that.
Heidi, I'll give you another date. Someone made a nice contribution.
Okay.
And then I'll answer that card for the person before that last person. So this is December 10, 1967, 7:33 a.m. Kenmore, Ohio. And for what it's worth, it's a female. Okay, this was Morgan, I believe, and the card I pulled was Judgment, but it was reversed. And what Judgment usually means is that, you're very settled in your spiritual realm. You're very settled with your relationship with your divinity. You feel like you've got everything in line with your inner self, with your inner spirit, with your divinity. But when Temperance is upside down, what I'm saying and sensing, and it'd be nice if you could respond to this, is that you're at a place where you're beginning to reevaluate and perhaps even question your spiritual and religious convictions. You may be questioning all of the religion that you grew up with. You may be experiencing and really looking into new ways of spirituality. You may be questioning the essence of life itself. And it's just a time where you're actually really the opposite of Temperance. You're coming into a place where you're asking, you're looking, you're seeking in spiritual and metaphysical realms. And that's for Morgan.
Okay. And well, one more thing, it literally could have to do with finances, legit finances too, and lawsuits. Because when I saw that card and I saw the chart, if that has anything to do with like finances, it could have to do with that. Maybe. Would you say that?
Yeah, absolutely. I concur with that. Oh, listen to this. Morgan Roundtree says, oh, yes, that is very true. I love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah, good. But, and I would say, just take it easy on yourself. That's for sure.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah. Okay, so this person, 12/10/67, you're a Scorpio too, like me. All the Scorpio risings, I have a Scorpio series here. You should go watch it because I have other different Scorpios, and we talked about how our lives have been so chaotic for the past 4 years.
Can I ask a question, Heidi?
Yes.
You say that all the time about go watch the Scorpio video. What's someone that's a Scorpio going to learn from that video? Because you obviously really believe that they should watch it.
Yeah, they just relate. You'll just learn about yourself a lot. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, I should be sitting here with them telling them how crazy my life has been for the past 4 years too. That's just because we've had a rough few years. Okay, just to say the least. I mean, big changes where our lives have spinned upside down, probably. And same with this person, for sure, because you have Sun and Mercury in the first house. This makes somebody that's a great leader, great like manager, great in politics, great researcher, somebody that's just the business person. You just need to be in charge, period. And people will look up to you. And, it's all in Mercury's in Honorata, your ascendant's in Jesta. So, you definitely can be you like to be in control, for sure. And you don't like to lose control. The thing about Scorpios are we just want to know shit that nobody else knows. That's like our biggest thing. Like we want to know things that nobody else knows. I mean, we're open to other things too. Like that's the thing about a Scorpio is they're going to listen to everything because they want to make sure they don't miss something. They want to be well versed in everything because if they are, nobody can pull one over on them. So, and you have Neptune in the first house. This makes you extremely intuitive as well. And you're already intuitive, but this amplifies this. Okay. And you don't trust people. Like once again, trust issues and it's like you're just like, I'll just do it myself. That's just how it ends up being. You have your moon is in Pisces and Bada Padra. This is very mystical, very like the tarot card readers, the people that are into telepathy and people that are into all kinds of spiritual stuff. But then you have Saturn there saying, no, I don't think so. I don't think that's right. You have this like mystical moon, but Saturn sitting there, not letting it just be as mystical as it wants. So even though you think you're psychic and you're psychic, Saturn's going to say, no, think about that realistically. You're going to have a lot of doubts on your feelings, a lot. Back and forth, back and forth. You might worry a lot. You might have, some depression bouts and stuff, or could just have to do with your mother. You had some issues with the mother, but then you have Venus and K2 in the 12th. This is definitely issues in romance, love, pleasure, happiness. So when you have Venus and K2 in the 12th, well, first of all, Venus and K2, you might as well just have K2 in the first house because it gives you that dissatisfaction in relationships in a way.
You're nailing it, by the way, Heidi, she says.
Good. So dissatisfaction in relationships, like you're always going to be like, what's next? What's better? And then once you finally get to like your 40s, which once you hit that age, you're probably like, you might have settled because there's not going to be anything better. It's kind of like a debilitated Venus in a way. It's what you like, you don't have this like romance, love stuff, but you are very sexual. So that's the hard part about it. It's, you're just Scorpios connect on a sexual bond. It's more of like Kundalini. So if they don't have that, they're lost. But then you have Venus and K2 together in the 12th. So K2's like, no, you're not allowed to have that. You've already done that. And there's a lot of kind of, issues with that. So it also could give you issues with women, but you probably help women. And Jupiter in the 10th is great for being a teacher, being a professor, being something with money. I mean, you were probably very successful, to say the least. Very successful. So transits, career things were in the past, year and a half. Issues losing energy could have been the past 2 years, and just a lot of changes, couple endings, debts, like money spending. You spend more money, just a lot of things. Things are changing. You're gonna feel a lot better.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right. Do we have anything else to discuss? Do we have any rods?
Always, those are always present.
Yeah. So should we ask it any questions?
Sure, I'm up for that. And that the card I pulled for that last person was the Wheel of Fortune, but again, it was reversed. So the Wheel of Fortune's usually about, I'm looking for my, I'm looking for my way. I'm looking for my direction. I'm looking for, what makes sense. I'm searching. But with it upside down, with it reversed, it seems like you're coming to a place where you're figuring it out. You're coming to a place where you're settling into your own spirituality. You're settling into your own belief system. You're starting to feel like you're actually getting a handle on this whole life living spirituality thing, where you're starting to kind of get it. You're starting to understand it, and you're starting to feel very comfortable with your spirituality. You don't think that you've arrived by any means, but you think you found a path, you think you found a way, and you're at a real nice place of peace within yourself. And I would just encourage you to, whatever path you're on, that you would want to continue to go down the road with that one, because it sure sounds like you're in a good spot spiritually at this point, or at least you're at the beginning of a good spot.
Yeah. But you might be taking on too many things like me, you know, like you might feel like me right now, just a little overwhelmed with things.
Yep.
And whether it be career or just like taking on too many responsibilities with family, that's not my case, but like that could be in your case, you know, just feeling a little too strained right now.
Mm-hmm. Heidi, I don't know if you have to go to work in the morning, but it's 1:30.
Yeah. Okay. Probably should go. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's a good idea.
So you want to just go ahead and end it, or you want to ask a couple rod questions?
Let's ask it like 5 questions.
Okay. And I got all the rods I'm mailing out tomorrow, so I'm going to go through all the different sets. They're not quite finished. I still got to fix them up a little bit, but they're in fine working condition. So this is what I try to do. I try to get them, you know, working real good and tuned up before I send them out. I did something I always do is pair them up, and I dropped them bringing over here. So they're not with the pair they've been with. So this should be kind of interesting. So throw out some questions for the rods.
Hold on. Somebody said that Morgan's birth was off.
Oh, I gave you the one that was written down, at least the first time.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. It was just 1978.
I thought I saw her saying that she thought it was right. So throw out some questions. Will Florida be flooded? No, Florida will not be flooded. Not anytime soon, at least. Thank goodness, because I'm sitting in Clearwater right now.
Okay, Morgan, your whole chart just changed. If you're born in 1978, I'm just going to say real quick, you're a Scorpio rising. So kind of like everything I said about the other Scorpios here. Your moon's in Libra on the 12th. You just want to balance. You really just, I'll just try to give you a new reading next time. But Mars, Venus, Rahu together, power struggles with men, women, can be some messes there, maybe some siblings, if you have any siblings. And your moon is in Swati, so you're a good speaker, good at trade, good at business, good at but there's some hurdles with career that can be in some issues. So that's what I have to say for now. We're gonna go back to the rods, but because I don't know what time, if your year's 1978 or 1987. So hopefully that if your chart didn't sound right before, now it does a little bit more.
Okay. Will McCain now be exposed for attacking Trump? Yes.
I never liked him. I can't, he's really on my nerves lately.
I met him in an airport, and I saw that flash of that famous McCain anger they talk about.
Yeah.
I thought for a second he was going to punch me, but he got it under control. He did sign my book. So, and boy, he's so much more scarred up in person than you see on TV. Michael asks, is outer space dark water? They say no. That's 3. We got 2 more questions, right, Heidi?
Yeah, 2 more. I have a question. This is not part of the questions, but
yeah, we'll do a bonus question at the end for Heidi. Oh, that's an interesting one. Will Beetlejuice explode anytime soon? No, it will not. See how these things worked, man? And when I tune, anyway, I need to do a video on how I make these and how I tune them. And
yeah, you should. That's a great idea.
And how to use them. Somebody said a beginner on how to use them. And here's the last. This is an interesting question. I think this person might be from India. Is Indian Prime? Oh shoot, I forgot her. I didn't see the name. Is the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi genuine? Is the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi genuine? Says no. I don't know if that's good news or bad news for you. But they're a politician, so how surprised are you, really, Karma Kavi?
So this person that I have reading with tomorrow, and he said, ask the rods if Heidi can read charts without her software. Like basically, if I can do it with my intuition.
Are they doubting you? Are they doubting you?
No. It was a compliment. He thinks.
Okay. So. Is Heidi able to read charts intuitively? A hard yes.
Yeah.
And since I've got 2 more sets here to test, let's do a bonus question. What ask a question, Heidi.
God, don't make me do that because
I thought you said you had a question.
That was it. That was my question.
Oh, that was your question? Okay. What was it? Somebody, 2 questions. Come on, throw them out real quick. Heidi's got to go to bed. Will there be martial law in the United States soon? No.
I knew it.
And this is interesting. Miss Space Case is doing the rods at the same time as me. It says the rods are paralleling each other.
Really? That's awesome to hear.
Is Hillary Clinton human? About halfway. Let's do that again.
Yeah,
is Hillary Clinton human? Dude,
no.
not really.
Yeah, she is a freaking weirdo. I've already asked if Ben Affleck is a CIA agent. He's not.
Yeah, that's right. He is not a CIA agent, although it does appear that he is in league with some intelligence agency.
Yeah, whatever one, we don't know. But
and here's the last question. I saw it earlier. Are the California fires started by space weapons? Oh, here it is. Did the California fires, are they using energy weapons in California? No.
Ooh, that said no last time too.
Yep. Is the Indian Prime Minister genuine? It says a hard no. So all I can, I just deliver the news, and they are just copper rods. So
yeah, it's Hillary demon possessed. I think she's probably the Antichrist. That's probably who it is.
Oh, she used to be human, definitely. She used to be definitely. Is
Hillary Clinton the Antichrist?
Well, she's an Antichrist, but she's not the Antichrist.
All right. Well, is she the 666er or whatever you call her? I don't know.
You won't like this. Is Hillary Clinton the Antichrist? No.
Yeah, well, because that's not even true. The Antichrist. That's all.
Exactly. Will there be mass arrests in November? No.
They just had a mass arrest with a bunch of sex rings in Florida. Did you hear that?
I didn't, and thankfully no one knocked on my door. All right, so all those rods are tested. Yeah. Thanks, Heidi.
Oh gosh, that's funny. Dude, the gold rods work better. Yeah, so this is fun.
I've never used any gold rods, and if I could afford to own gold rods, that's how expensive gold rods would be.
Yeah, would they work? Okay, well, this is my weekly advice to give to everybody. And Jeff, you pull 3 cards too. Okay.
I've been pulling cards.
I know this is for everybody in general. So this
okay.
Instead of doing all the signs. So for this week, I will say that I think that just from 2, you're gonna make everybody that I did readings for 2. Could be like you have a lot of emotional decisions to make. Maybe choosing between things with emotions, with love, with career, with whatever. There's going to be a lot of decisions. You're going to make the right decision, and you're definitely, I would say, you can manifest powerful things.
We should have asked if Lee Veltman was a blue avian.
Go ahead, ask. And the more people focus on, so it's funny because I feel like that we got to go back to the secret thing. This is all about manifesting the secret. If you want to manifest it, do it. Maybe not be so negative, especially all these Scorpios here, because we can be a little pessimistic.
Heidi and Jeff are true soul food.
And it can feel like you have a lot of burdens and it's not easy. And a lot of the decisions, and you might have to get rid of some people that you thought were good people, and it might not be, I'm just giving like a really interesting reading, but it's map it up really good. And the celebrations didn't go the right way. The happiness that you thought was so a lot of people are cleaning house this week, period. Cleaning house to get something new. And you're removing what's toxic in your life.
Wow, that sounds a lot like some of the readings that we did for individuals.
Yeah.
Do you find, and Jen asked an interesting question. She said, if somebody would twins have Gemini in their siblings?
No, not necessarily. I've actually noticed a lot of people that are Aries, the Swanee Nakshatra, are twins.
Interesting.
But more so the twins. Well, first of all, twins don't usually come out at the exact time. So there's like 3 or 4 minutes.
Oh, that's right. So you have different date. Yeah.
So totally what happens is your ascendant chart will stay the same usually, your birth chart. But what's going to change is your Navamsha chart's going to change, your D60 chart's going to change. Your Navamsa, like these charts change within 10 minutes. So it will make a difference.
Cool. And I decided to pull a cosmic deck of initiation card for the group. And what I got was Gemini. So just look at it. Gemini.
Yeah. Let me see it again. Hold on, because I'm looking at the comments. Wait, hold on.
Oh, it's just a mandala, but it's Gemini.
Okay. Okay. So that's, to me, that's all about communication, expressing your feelings, communicating how you feel, you know, communicating your thoughts, get it out there. I mean, that's the truth. Don't hold anything back. You have to get it out, and you need to literally, how can you remove toxic things if love can be toxic too? Honest? Well, that's a great question. Well, maybe you have a choice. You know, if there's like a toxic relationship and it's a really legitimately toxic, it's got to go. You know, it's just true.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're miserable in a toxic relationship, or if you're not able to express yourself, or you're not able to like be yourself, or, you know, you can't communicate. I feel like communication should be like something that we're talking about, because that's the card you pulled. Communication, if you can't communicate, it can be just as toxic if that's such a big important thing in somebody's chart. Each chart, like if communication is your number one thing and you have somebody that can't communicate, your life sucks. Sorry.
Get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, get out of there. It's not always toxic, like, you know, the sex is bad, or, you know, there's a lot more to it. So a lot of times people just can't communicate right because you're off base. See if you can try to work it out. I mean, maybe you can, but maybe you can't.
Yeah, I'm still learning these. So the Gemini card for this deck says that it indicates balance within duality, higher, lower, male, female are interwoven to create a power that is new and most exciting. Intense integration of all aspects. Duality offers options not previously considered. Dualities feed growth. Life is seen from new perspectives. To me, this speaks directly to exactly what we're going through. That August 21st full solar eclipse brought the fullness of feminine spirituality back to us, so we can now enter into duality like we've never been able to do before. So we should be able to express ourselves with total communication and total spirituality as never before. Take advantage of it. I think it's a 7-year run. And then after that, you are what you are, in my opinion. Yeah,
it's true. And I think truly, the more people listen, my opinion is the more you listen to other people's communication and more you listen to my grandmother when she wrote me this letter, and it was all about how you make sure you listen to what people say. And it's true. Like, that's one thing I've always done is that's one hell of the salesperson that listens to what somebody needs is the hell of a salesperson. Somebody can sit there and sell, you know, something to somebody. If they don't like it, they're not buying it. You need to find out what emotionally makes somebody tick, what emotionally makes somebody happy, why they're emotionally moving. I mean, or why they're emotionally sitting in your whatever they're buying in front of you, or why they're there. Because once you know their emotions, that's the key. Because there's something in there in somebody, which is why they want to change. So you have to get to that core bottom thing, and you have to get them to open up. And the only way you can do that is if they trust you. And this is the same thing in relationships, and it's the same thing in family, you know, just being open, not being so divided, not being so closed-minded to other people's things, like the haters that come on and say, oh, this is a crock of shit. Yeah, well, that's one of the problems. You're one of those problems, you know. This is the thing, not judging everybody. Just relax. We all have our own opinions. If we say something that you don't like, don't take offense. Just say it. Oh well, you know, it is what it is. Can
I give a piece of old guy advice?
Yeah.
Real listening is when you're actually listening to people and what they're saying, and not just pausing and thinking in your mind what you're going to say when their mouth stops moving.
Exactly. That's very true. Yeah.
That's all I got.
That's good though. I mean, that is true, because most people what are they doing? What are they thinking for that next move?
Exactly.
The next comeback. And you know, the thing about this is with YouTube and with these live chats and with the people, a lot of them here, we're just a bunch of smart individuals, you know, and everybody's out, like, we're all searching. So everybody has their own thoughts, their own beliefs. And when you hear something that, you know, you don't really know, it's going to make you think things are different than what you've been thinking for all those years. it's a slap in the face in a way. You know, it's like, oh my God, for all these, because guess what? The number one thing minus public speaking and death of fears are, guess what the third one is? Change. People
Absolutely.
hate change. So to think about that, if you hate change, I love change. Change it up for me. Change.
What's the only constant in the whole universe?
Yes.
Change.
And that's the problem. Change, fear, and I guess public speaking and death. These are the fears. These are like the main fears in the world. So if you can overcome that, you know, it's like, trust me, because the things are changing. And if you're not changing with the times, you're going to be behind. Like, you're going to be disappointed later down in the road because things are changing. Right?
The only constant is change.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Well,
Heidi, thank you so much for having me on. It was an honor and a privilege.
Thank you so much for doing it. That was fun. And I appreciate you doing that stuff too with the rods. And go make sure everybody subscribes to Jeff's channel if you're just coming in here. And I'm going to put the links are in below. I'm going to pin the comment. And he also has his website. And you can go there too and purchase rods and his services and his books and everything else. So thank you, Jeff. And everybody have a good week. Hold on, I'm not going to hang up. Just stay on for 1 second. I'm not going to end the meeting. I'm just going to go not live.
Gotcha.